My name is Chief Maha. I'm also a builder by profession. So today we are here on your site. We are here to inspect your site and see what is currently going on. Can you give us a brief about this construction project presently?
I will start by first of all introducing myself. I am a builder by profession also, and my names are Christopher Dungdamboyi.
All right.
The things in particular that have been going on in this site, let me say technically, being a builder is not an easy profession. It's time consuming, energy consuming, resource consuming, and every other thing. But if I may say, or may ask, on which aspect will you want me to brief?
Okay.
Because construction entails plenty aspects or different methods in order to put together to get to arrive at a particular result.
All right. For the sake of our viewers, let's say it's someone that is not a professional in the industry. He doesn't know anything about construction. You know, construction has to do with process.
Yes.
Right. So when it comes to process, how do you start?
Okay. I think the first stage in this in construction, it has to come from the documentation. The document has to involve your working drawings, your structural designs. That's if you're going to a high-rise building, just like this one we are executing. It has to come with your structural designs, your mechanical and electrical designs. Once you have those informations collected from the various professionals, we as builders put them together. We bring all this information together, so in order to make it a reality on site. Coming down to this place, first of all, when you have your documents put together, the first thing you come to do, I think, is the setting up method of which we use profiles, which is a 3-4-5 setting out method. That's what we use in getting this very building that is here. After that, we set how the excavations comes in. The columns excavations also comes in. Then we now set our columns and the base. We have what we call foundation footing after our excavation. So once we run that, we now set out our columns. We have our block works. That's setting out that also comes in foundation, which is the block work, which we erect in order to attain the height of whatever foundation we decide to do. And
okay.
Yes. So, but I know strictly below the ground level is a strip foundation.
Okay.
A strip foundation.
That's good. So, in respect to that, you know, we are facing a lot of challenges in the construction industry. You discover that we have different professionals, right? In the construction industry, we have about 7 different professionals who are in charge when it comes to construction aspects. But the challenges that we are having is the question is, who is supposed to be on site? Is it an engineer or builder or an architect? We discover that even nursing in sites, you discover that they introduce themselves as engineers.
Yes.
So what differentiates a builder from an engineer?
Well, I will say this briefly. We all are professionals in the industry, but we have our individual rules allocated to every professional in this industry. For an architect, I think they are the first initiator, they are the dreamers. They come in contact with the client and they put together whatever thought that the client wants and perfect it in designs. Then the structural engineer in the other way, we have mechanical and also electrical engineers, just like you mentioned, all in the construction industry. We have various professionals up to 7. The engineer now, after the architect is done with the working designs, the architectural designs, the engineer collects the information for proper structural drawing and structural ascertainment of that particular project. He executes structurally, he designs structurally. When we have the mechanical designs, of course, the mechanical design have to now deal with his mechanical design, pipes, whatever that has to do with, or that takes away sewages and the rest, and also the electrical design. The builder in particular in this is a unique person. The builder is a unique person. He comes and collects all these informations from these various professionals. He is trained to be able to put that into reality. He bring all this to put that into reality. When you put a builder on site, automatically he knows what site is all about. He takes the production process, from the production process to the finishing level. He's an executioner, he's a chief executioner. After collecting those various information from the other professionals, he makes it into reality.
All right, that's awesome. This is something that most people are confused in, most especially in Nigeria, because the reason and the purpose of this interview is to make people understand that in this construction industry we have different professionals, and each professional plays his own role according to their professional code of ethics. So being a builder means that you are someone that, when it comes to execution, you are in charge of execution. So, but in Nigeria, you discover that the reason why we are having issues of building collapse is as a result of poor practice in the industry. You discover that an architect will be on site, is supervising everything, or you see a civil engineer, in which civil engineer is different from a builder. They have different roles, right? And we have the structural engineer. Each one is playing his own role differently. But you discover that an electrical engineer will be on site. As long as you are bearing that title, engineer, that's all. So these are some of the challenges that we are facing in the industry. So, right?
Yes.
This is the first floor of this structure. So
first floor.
Our builder here will just give us a brief about what is all these, ions that people are seeing. To a layman, he will say, this is an ion. Why are you people putting all these things? You understand?
Ions, as you see, they are all structural members of this particular building. They serve in holding any weight that is to come above.
Okay.
This very particular building, this structure. So after this iron work, we have to have something called the mass concrete that will be taking place. Now that solidly, concrete is known for compression and this known for tensile. The ions that we put, so the workability between this combination of the workability between this very iron and concrete is to be able to give the structure the desired strength to welcome other loads that will be put upon, the later loads that will be coming. And I think in construction we call all of these dead loads, apart from the woods that will be taken away. These are permanent dead loads. So if you don't even know how to manage some of these things, you will sometimes over-reinforce your building, and don't worry, it also causes collapse as far as your foundation is not designed to carry such.
I discovered one thing in the construction industry, iron benders. You discover that just because this design, what they use here, they want to replicate it somewhere. Is it appropriate, or is it something in general that we have to be doing that way?
We know it's not appropriate. Okay. I will tell you something. Every design, every shape, every site, every location comes with its own challenges, and it's so different. In construction, you don't rely on what I have done here. You repeat it in another way. Especially when it comes to our soil textures in terms of erection or erecting our foundations. You don't replicate the same thing. If you do that, to be honest, you will not get whatever you want. And at the end of the day, it will end in disgrace. Please, for our clients, able clients out there that think as if these people that work with us, yes, which are they are artisans actually. They are artisans in the construction industry. they are not trained professionally in any way to be able to handle projects, most especially projects of any type, most especially complex projects as this. Because sometimes they only work with what they have seen or what they have experienced, not what it is currently done in any location. Every site, like I said earlier on, comes with its challenges and is always better, because if you don't choose to spend once, you spend twice. When you go for, most of them even go for cheapness of service delivery, and that's where you will now realize that you are spending much more than what you should have done once. So please, they are artisans, they are not professionals. They receive instructions from professionals to execute. And sometimes they don't even know why. They give them such instruction, but they say, do it this way and do it this way. But they now carry the same thing and take it to another. No. It doesn't work like that. Like, I will not bring the site I've executed to this, the knowledge of that site to this very site. This is very different. That's where flexibility comes in. We are trained to adapt to every condition, every site, and how it should be managed and taken care of.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you for this educational content to our people out there. So this is something that, is very, very important, that people out there need to know, that whenever they want to build, there are some certain people that they need to reach out to, right? And another major thing is, when it comes to construction, you discover that most people are not aware that there is someone that is called a builder, a professional industry. But these builders, they are the people that bring the designs of the different professionals, the structural engineer, the architect, and then the service engineers, everything, they bring them to reality, right? So, and also, as long as you want to build any structure, you need to consult a builder. Because of what? Right from inception, the builder needs to be there, because he knows if this structure will be built or not. Because it's not every design that is buildable.
Yes, it's true.
Right?
Very true.
It's not every design that is buildable. So he needs, you discover that on site, we usually face challenges when it comes to mechanical and plumbing aspects of this design. Because some architects, all what they are after is aesthetic looks. That's all. The beauty of the structure. They don't care about the structural elements of the building. So these are some of the things that people need to take note of. Because as you can see, having a builder on site is different from having other professionals on site. We're not saying that an architect cannot be on site or a structural engineer, but they have different roles. Why will an architect be on site? He needs to check whether the building, the design is, correlating with what he designs. And also the structural engineer need to check all the reinforcement, the placing of everything, or anything that has to do with the structural elements. Like we have the beams, we have the slabs, right? So, and then also when it comes to the slab, we have spacing. This is what we call the spacing. These are spacing. These are kickers. So we make provisions as concrete cover.
Yes.
So that this reinforcement will not be outside. Anything apart from that, if you are not doing that, you discover that the structure, you discover that we are running out of, I don't want to spend money, I don't want to involve engineering, but this is not proper. The same cost that you are running away from is the same cost. You will even spend more than that amount after when the construction is done.
Very correct.
Yes, you discover that a lot of masons, just because they have 10 years experience or 7, they'll say,
And they'll
no
tell you,
problem.
do you know how
I
I'm
can
doing it
build
all
for
my
you
life?"
from A to Z. I was the one that built Chief Okonkwo Plaza. So, before you know, building collapse is everywhere. That is the same issue that we are facing in Lagos, most especially Lagos. So, when it comes to construction, we have different professionals. You have to start from the geotechnical, which is very important. You need to know your swell-bearing capacity, which is very important. It will help the structural engineer to design the right structure that can withstand the bearing capacity of that swell. So, but people are ignorant of all these things. And then before you know, you do shady works, and at last, everything will collapse, even when it comes to that aspect. So, for the purpose of this, I would like to appreciate you and thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. You're welcome.
We hope to see you going higher and higher